Hey gamers, what's up? It's me again, back at you with some more UCN content, if you will. Today I'm going to be making the long guide, and really I did not make an outline for this, so it's going to probably be a little bit more disorganized. It's going to have a lot more information, but I know how my brain gets where I start skipping around and I'm like, oh, I should have said that, I should have said this, I should have said that. So bear with me here. I'm going to give you as much info as I can about what I know of 50/20 mode, and I hopefully will teach you something or give you some more insight if you need it. Really, you should be able to beat it with like the common guides out there, like I talked about in the short video. Um, Hopefully, I gave you enough information in my short video, and by that, 49 minutes worth or whatever it was. And then beyond that, if you can't get it like perfect and you're so close and there's something that you're kind of missing and you're wondering what it is, then hopefully in this video, you're gonna hear something that kind of gives you that little boost, if you will. So anyway, I just want to say this too before I forget. There was a guy who was watching my stream when I beat 50/20, or like, he kept popping in every now and then when I was like doing the easier challenges like 40, 45, etc., etc. So the other day he popped into chat when I was making the original guide. It's not the published one that you'll see. It's there. I did one before that went on too long, but he popped in and said, hey, just want you to know I beat 50/20. Thanks for your help. Because he came in and asked a question and I didn't see it, so I PM'd him, gave him some advice. And it was advice that I had used myself when I beat 50/20. So apparently I'm already helping, and that feels good. Even if it's just one person, I am already doing more than I could have hoped for. I mean, that obviously that is what I hoped for, but then to have it become a reality is nice. So just wanted to do a little blog post there for you. This is why you gamers should be doing stuff, is because it helps other people, and that's good. And it's not just about people, but I'm not about to go on that like universal goodness pack. So anyway, I have the game booted up, and I've got a couple tabs open here. So I've got Twitch, which has the 50/20 win clip, which apparently has been watched 3 times. I don't think that was by me, but alright. I've got the Ultimate Custom Night Wiki, and then the Ultimate Custom Night Technical Wiki, and I'll show those, I suppose. So where's Firefox? Let's see. Okay, there it is. So here's Twitch. Here's the win. Here's the Ultimate Custom Night Wiki. This is probably where I'm going to get most of the information. And then there's this like bugged out website, and by that I mean not really, it's just kind of incomplete. You can see here, but anyway, yeah, there's some stuff here that I think is going to be good to look at. So I'm going to be talking about certain things and then hopefully referring back to them to give you guys a clearer understanding. And right now, I'm not in the game. I am outside the game, but it still like runs in the background, so that's why I can't hear any music. So one thing I suppose I can do first here is kind of discuss threats, since I'm looking at this screen. There's certain guys you straight up don't even have to worry about, and then there are guys that you do need to worry about pretty actively. So I guess what I'm going to do is point out the big ones, and then I'm going to kind of make my way down and talk about the less important ones, if you will. So, like, there's guys that you have to deal with, there's guys you sometimes have to deal with, there's guys that kind of exist, and then there's guys that you don't even think about. So, oh my gosh, jump scare. Okay, shut up. That's Control S. It shuts sounds up until the next scene or something like that. I forget. It's like a click team thing here. But, okay, so really the big offenders here would be the Puppet, Foxy, Toy Freddy, and Funtime Foxy. I think that's it. Potentially Nightmare on, but like that's something that is more reactionary. The other four rather, are they're kind of things you have to have in your head that you need to be thinking about, and it's hard to do that when you're balancing so many other things. Or juggling, I suppose would be the better thing to say here. So, none of this should be a surprise to you, but like the puppet, you got to keep the music box wound up. Foxy, you have to keep him from sprinting at you, because like you can't close the left door. He's just gonna like throw his parts into your office and eventually kill you. Toy Freddy is RNG, and you can debatably say he doesn't matter, but I would say that he's annoying enough to warrant being like considered a critical threat. And then Funtime Foxy places you on a timer, basically, so you have to complete a lot of stuff by 45 seconds, and then that kind of gets you over the hump and into the main part of the night, if you will. So they are what you need to keep in mind. And by doing so, you will also be managing other animatronics, if that makes sense. So by taking care of the puppet, you deal with 3 others, I believe. So Chica, Music Man, and Lefty. By dealing with Foxy, you like, quote, deal with Bonnie, but I mean, like, you don't ever really deal with Bonnie. But Foxy, he more, I would say, creates pressure, and he can just kind of end the night. And it's really easy to let him get out of hand. So I think like he kind of gets his own category. But by dealing with him effectively, you allow yourself to focus on other things without having a giant head on your desk that like you have to worry about. Plus, it allows a little bit of wiggle room for error, which like I'm sure I can talk about in my run. But anyway, so there's Toy Freddy, who by dealing with him, you deal with him. But by dealing with him, you're allowed to well, not die early, hopefully. I mean, he can still get you, but he allows you to go look at other cameras if you deal with him properly early on, which is really the only time you deal with Toy Freddy is early. So then there is Funtime Foxy, and by dealing with Funtime Foxy, you eliminate the need to be on the cameras, which gives you a huge boost, and you then can do a cam stall, which deals with 4 other animatronics too, that being the plushies, so like Nightmare Mangle, Nightmare Bonnie, and Baby, which the Nightmares, I really don't think they should have had plushies. Maybe like it's kind of like a lore thing, like maybe they were plushies in real life and they had illusion discs strapped to them. I don't freaking know, but like Baby, that makes sense because like, she's like a very iconic character, and people would probably want to buy like a plush of her. Plus, like, she's already cute, so like it makes sense there'd be like a cute version of her. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but anywho, so you deal with them, and then you deal with Rockstar Chica as well, because she can basically do nothing if you have the wet floor sign on the left and you are cam stalled on cam 2 or whatever it's called. So those are the big ones. Now, the lesser ones that you're going to have to deal with would be Freddy, but I mean, he's pretty easy. You just kind of close the door on him. I mean, should I even mention, like, Mangle and Withered Chica? I guess so. So, you just close the vent on them. Like, this is characters that you have to perform an action to deal with. There's Golden Freddy, you got to flip the mask down. Springtrap, same deal. Freddy and the Freddles, I guess, like, you kind of have to deal with them a little bit early because you're in the cameras more. Jacko Chica, you got to deal with. You got to keep the office cool. That's really only a problem early because you might accidentally use the heater and go over 100. Nightmare, very annoying, but as long as you're smart about your mouse placement and conscious of it, which is kind of like weird to do in a game if you think about it, but it's important. And ends up not really being that bad. And then there's Nightmare Balloon Boy. Just keep an eye on him, flash the light, pretty obvious. Ballora shows up like every 13, 14 seconds, I think, so she's not that bad, but like you have to keep it in mind, like have your hand over on the keyboard. Entered, vent. I guess Nightmare, Fredbear, Nightmare, you gotta close the door on them, but like that's basically never a thing. Nedbear and Orville, you gotta press 3, because they're resistant to the lure. So Nedbear can actually get trapped by the lure, but Orville can't. So you have to use it, which is to control both. Helpy, you gotta click, that's easy. 5 coins is whatever now. Rockstar Bonnie and Withered Bonnie both appear at the same time. They can, I think it's every 13 seconds, show up in your office, and Withered Bonnie's okay to deal with, but Rockstar Bonnie not so much. You basically have to get lucky and hope that the guitar is on cam 2, if you will. Otherwise you're screwed because you destroy your cam stall. And then Molten Freddy, pretty easy. I mean, he's in the vent. Scrap Baby, I think every 5 seconds she can get you. Or she can like tilt her head up and then you have to shock her. Kind of a similar mechanic to Nightmare Balloon Boy. I couldn't think of it. I was like, who else is in the office? And I was thinking like Rockstar Freddy. And then Afton, he is annoying because he can show up like every 29 seconds, and like it's a weird interval, you know, like you can't time everything perfectly on zeros, but I think that's good. Like overall, I'd say it's a good thing. So really, he's just reactionary, and then basically everyone else is, let's see, reactionary or very easily dealt with. So for example, the other 3 mediocre melodies, I don't know why I said that weird, are stopped by the lure 100% of the time, as far as I understand. So Happy Frog, Mr. Hippo, and Pig Patch, like they're just done. Like that's it. You turn the lure on and they walk into it and it's over. Like you're good. So there's them, and then like all the forward vent animatronics, or top vent or front vent or whatever, or vent, really it's just called vent. They are all blocked simultaneously when you close it. So just close it. It's not that hard. It's pretty easy, actually. There's never been an easier way to block like 5 or 6 animatronics. I think it's 5. But I guess Balloon Boy and JJ, same thing. Close the vent, but it's the side vent this time. So really, like, you don't deal with a ton of characters, and only towards the end of the night, towards the end of the night, Old Man Consequences isn't a problem. Early on in the night, he kind of is, because he's a distraction. I think he's on a timer, but like, he's easy to deal with. Like, it just, unless you need to go on the cameras, even if you miss it, it's probably not going to be a problem. So like, there's a lot of characters that you kind of just disregard. And there's only a few characters that are actively an issue, but they are hard to keep track of because of dealing with a lot of other characters that are easy to deal with. That's kind of the easiest way to put it. So, really, it's those big 4, if you want to even call it that. You can almost say big 3. And then even then, the only thing that you really, I would say, need to be conscious of in order to like not get yourself screwed would be the Puppet and Foxy. But really, it's the Puppet that's the main one. And I wouldn't call it an animatronic, obviously, but like having the power generator on versus having the music box on, that's what's going to get you killed, because you do need to manage your power. So it's about like handling easy threats that distract you from big threats, and then your own management of resources that is going to be the biggest problem, in my opinion, and learning how to deal with the night, because like it is pretty tricky. But I'm going to talk about that now. But actually, before I do that, I lied. So I am going to go give my pup eye drops real quick because it's time to do that. I kind of forgot. She's got 2 more to do. So give me just a sec, and I'll be right back, and we'll talk about the night. Do it in depth. Alright, I'm all done, but I'm going to give Bailey a treat now. And I'm going to give the cat a cat treat. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Hopefully I remember to cut all that out, but we'll see about that. Probably not, so... it's already going to be like a freaking long video anyway, so deal with it. Alright, so the night. Let's start talking about the night. I guess I'll just play the video again. And, did we? Yeah, I guess so. And then I'll just talk about it. So this time I'm going to go more in depth. Where is it? Looking for Firefox here. Oh, it was under FNAF. Okay. And we'll turn on like full tabs here. Got to remember to change that if I pop out of the screen. Not that it really matters realistically. Okay, so you're gonna hear me talking this again. So this is gonna be the in-depth part now. Like, so we're talking about the night and what to do officially now. We're kind of done talking about characters. I'm gonna bring up characters and we're gonna talk about what they do and whatnot and their chances and this and that. Really, like, the thing I went over was kind of just like a brief intro of like, think about these things, get used to these things, don't even think about these things. And then this is now like the what to do. So I will say, put your mouse right here. When you click go, put your mouse on the left part of the portrait for Chip. Watch, you'll see this cursor come over. So yeah, I know about where it is. I think I missed though, but when the screen's black, you can double click and it like loads a double click essentially. So when the game begins, it does that, although it happens instantly. I messed up here. I didn't actually do it. So got 101% because when the game started, I was holding 1 and had the fan off. So you do that by holding 1 in space. And basically immediately I flip the camera, but not before I look at the desk. So you let the game load in a little bit because it takes a sec. And then this happens. So Bonnie's on the desk. All right, perfect, great. Not really, it kind of sucks. Okay, first thing I do, go into vent system, or duct system, my apologies. And I place it over here on the left. So the reason I believe that you do that is because if you have it over here on the right and this duct is closed, well then Orville and Nedbear can just kind of freely walk through it and go over here. Or the rest of them, actually, they might navigate, you know, this way, and then the lure's here, but here's the opening. So you put it in front of the opening to prevent any nonsense, and it's far enough back to where like you don't really have to worry about them, you know, going this way or going this way. You have it at an intersection. If you place it up here, they could go zzz like that, and then you're screwed. So I don't think it's worth clicking open duct and placing here. You could probably do that, it would work. But really, just since this duct is already closed, put the audio over here, you'll see it click. Okay, so that takes care of 3 animatronics. Right, I went a little fast there. Okay, so here's this. So everyone's crawling through the vents, and I guess they have paths. So Mangle's going to go this way, and Withered Chica's going to go this way, and the other guys you basically don't even have to worry about. Some of them ignore a snare, some of them get stuck by the snare. Mangle gets stuck by the snare. So I place it here because it prevents her from showing up early. If you really don't want to even bother with the vent system, you don't have to. This is optional. I do it because it reduces the amount of nonsense that can occur. Move the sign. All right, that's me talking. So here's cam system. You start on cam 1. So if Foxy was there, go to cam 5, just view him. Foxy has this weird timer, and the way it works is like every time you don't look at, or like every frame you don't look at him, plus the number of the like phase that he's on will start to accumulate, and once it reaches a certain number, he will go to the next phase. I think there's 9 phases. So basically, the later phase you allow him to get to, the faster the next timer is going to go, or the next counter. So ideally, you would look at this guy later in the night, but you might as well do it now in case you can't look at him later, if that makes sense. So I would just do that just to do it. I mean, it's not like he's advanced horribly far, but you are taking just a second to kind of push him back just a bit. And then on top of that, you're also spending more time in the cameras early, which is good because you kind of want to be in here at around 5 seconds. So if you get out before 5 seconds, whatever, but if you're in here at 5 seconds, then you open yourself up to potentially getting some more coins. So I would say look here if possible, but I didn't see him, so go over here, lock Mr. Hugs out. This is pretty easy, you guys should know how to do this, but like if you click cam 1 and then you click cam 2 and he's not in both, then don't even bother looking at 3, just click the X. It makes a distinct noise too, of like thunking, so you'll know if you clicked it in case your screen's hazy for whatever reason. It shouldn't be, but just letting you know. So before I even look at the monitor, I would look for coins. So like you have an idea of like where you need to send your mouse after you click, or maybe look at them out of your peripheral or whatever. It doesn't really matter. So anyway, once you're done there, this is my strat. Don't go to the prize corner, stay in parts and service. if you go to parts and service, then it allows you to more easily look at Toy Freddy, which is part of what we're going to be doing here. So really, I stayed in at 5 seconds, and look who's here. It's Nightmare Fredbear. So if I close the door on him, I get a free coin. So you can ignore this guy if you want. I don't. I use the flashlight. No one's here yet in the vent, so you don't have to worry about anyone getting in. And provided that you deal with the side door guys, he won't cause any issues. Although I'm not actually sure if this Phantom Freddy guy only allows in vent animatronics or if he allows anyone in. Like, I think it's equivalent to like the screen being black or you being in the camera, basically. Like, it allows any outside threat to advance. So keep your mouse away from Nightmarion. Should be pretty easy. Pay attention to Nightmare Balloon Boy. Don't pay attention to the guy on the desk right now. It doesn't even matter. If you want to be a turbo nerd and like you're worried about resetting Foxy's timer, you can feel free to look at him very briefly at the 10-second point, but you need to be sure that you're looking at Toy Freddy at the actual 10-second interval. So like once that passes, you can very quickly switch down to Pirate Cove and then back up if you want to. So ignore that crazy crap. I do need to comment very briefly too. So if both of the nightmares, that's what I'm going to call them in the door, if both of them appear, be sure to close the door on one and then raise it, and then close the door and then raise it on the other. So, because if you do both at the same time and you do it too quick, you only get 1 coin. So I would say just do it on one and then raise the door to save the power. Don't like wait with the door closed, then close the other one, and then open both. I would just say waste 1 power. As far as I understand it, the way power works in terms of usage is that 1 bar, let's just say, has a usage this is just a made-up thing. Let's just say, though, that 1 bar has an internal usage number of like 5, which means nothing. Now you'd think 2 usage is 10. No, 2 usage is more like 12, and then 3 usage is more like 17. Like it compounds, so you need to use the least amount of power as possible. I can get into that later and look up exact things about it, I'm sure, but essentially what you need to know is the least amount of power you're using, the less amount of power you're using, the better. There, can't freaking use words here. So anyway, I'm at 9.9 right now. The camera should already be up. I should be looking at Toy Freddy, but I'm not. I tried. I didn't actually see if Mr. Hugs moved or not. That's a little too far back there, buddy. A little faster here. This is just to look at the camera. Okay, I can't really see, and the point isn't really to see in the first place. The point is to just have the camera open, but you're supposed to do it at exactly 10 seconds, not at 10.3 like me. So it doesn't matter if you're in the cameras at like 9.5, as long as you are on cam 8 at 10 seconds. That's the big thing. Why does it say 02 and 08 and like all that stuff? Like, why even bother with that if there's not 10? Why have a 10s place? Alright, anywho. Being in the cameras at 10 seconds also allows for the nightmares to spawn again, and it allows for the side vent nerds to come in. And really, those guys can come in at any time. It doesn't even matter. And the great thing about it is that there's 2 of them. So like if you thunk Balloon Boy, then Jaloonjoy, JJ, has like a chance to come in next. And no, I wasn't thinking of the name. I was thinking how to phrase it. Like how to say what I was saying. I'm a little stupid. I got out of the tub and I might be like a little dehydrated and like a little warm, but whatever. Just a humid day, gotta deal with it. So it rained today too, gamers. It was nice. I was on a walk with Bailey. Hannah didn't want to go, but it was nice. Okay, enough blogging. Yeah, this gives you a chance to get some more coins, is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, cam down, be sure to get Nightmare Balloon Boy at some point. Another thing that you want to be like mindful of is Helpy, and you can't really see her see him too well behind Baby's head. But let's see, does he show up at all at any point? I think he does. But in the default office, he's pretty difficult to see. You'll see him if Baby's not there pretty easily. I think I tried to click him or something, but there. So you can barely see a piece of him through her hair. But what I do is I look over to the right, and then I come back over to the left. And that kind of gives me a better picture of where he's at. And that strategy actually is pretty helpful later on too. Holy crap, it's already 20 seconds, okay. So, yeah, later in the night it helps because it allows you to look through the mini arenas, but I'll talk about that. So, 20-second interval, you need to have the cam up, be looking at Toy Freddy. So, let me talk a little bit about the whole cycle thing, like the power gen music box cycle. The rule of thumb is like 14 seconds of power and fan, 16 seconds of music box. So like night starts, fan normally is on, but you don't have it on at the beginning of the night. You don't need it on, you're already at 60. So at 14 seconds you want to turn on the music box, and the thing is that you need to be aiming before 15 seconds, and the reason you do that is because of Chica. She can get cranky if you don't have the music box on, the global music box on every 15 seconds, and it's not worth going into the cameras to change the music at all, in my opinion. It's just like, just not worth it. So and plus later on you'll be unable to do that if you're cam stalling. So that on top of staying on top of the music box charge or wind up or whatever you want to call it is very important. You're basically dead immediately if you fail the music box thing, because the ventilation like pass out time speeds way up, and then you're screwed at that point, and also the puppet can jump scare you. So you got to do it. That's like the biggest thing that you need to remember. And then on top of that, you need to make sure that you don't use it too long, because you also need power. Power is like a very important thing. You're basically going to be at 0 at the end of the night, provided that you make some mistakes, because you're not a perfect gamer, which is why you're using this imperfect strat. So anyway, yeah, you want to aim for 14. Now the truth of that is that like Chica's not really that big of a deal that I've noticed. I think in all the attempts I did, and I did a few hundred, she only jump scared me twice. And there have been multiple instances where I hear her stop with her pots and pans, and I'm pretty sure I do that like basically right at the beginning of the night anyway, like I freak up. So I'm not too sure how she works. Luckily, we can go on to the wiki, and we'll do that in just a sec, and also look at Foxy. But the main thing is the music box for the puppet, so stay on top of that. So about 16 seconds work. Now, let me speak a little more about it. At the beginning of the night, if you turn the music box on at like 16 seconds, it's fine. I think a little after 16 is like when the charge actually runs out, but you can get away with it if you need to. If you do that, you need to run the music box longer than 16, or like 17 or 18 seconds maybe, just to be like 100% on that. And we'll do a little test later. I'll go back into Ultimate Custom Night, and you'll see kind of exactly how the music box works. I'll show it to you. But for the most part, any time that you don't use the music box during one of the times you should be, you need to make up for it. And that's just to keep the box wound up. But you should always be using it at like a 15-second interval. So like turn it on at 14, so that means it's on at 15. Turn it off at 31, which means it's on at 30, and then same thing for 45 and 0. Although at the very beginning of the night it doesn't actually count, so don't worry about that. But anywho, does the night start at 0.1 second, I wonder? I don't know. But that's the strat on the music box. Let us do a little research on that. So hold on. This is the no tabs, about the no tabs version. Alright, so here's the Ultimate Custom Night wiki here, and we're going to look at Foxy. Alright, so here's this guy. I feel pretty good about this article, thanks. So all the information that you're going to need is like down here, basically. It's under behavior. So as you can see here, let's read the second paragraph right here first. Foxy gains a progress at a certain interval, which is a frame. So H is the amount of stages he has progressed since last viewed on camera. So I think he starts at 1, he might start at 0, but there is a counter that keeps track of progress. So every frame it's 1 plus, let's just say 1. So 2, and then it goes 4, 6, 8, 10, and it ticks up. So once it gets to 1,000, minus AI level times 10, which in this case is 20 times 10, which is 200. So minus, or subtracted by 1,000, that would be 800. So when his counter reaches 800, he advances to the next stage. And apparently, if you haven't viewed him, he will only go to stage 3. And I suppose that there's 9 total, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 9 stages is where he's going to get you. So I would look at him only at a few certain times, but what I'm saying is if you can reduce this early, you're going to do better. Like that way that the number doesn't compound, because the H goes up and it can't be reset. If he is observed on cam 5, his progress will immediately be set to 0 and H will be set to 0. So I suppose that this number becomes 0 and then H becomes 0, but I don't think his progress level becomes 0. Like his stage, I think it stays 0. Just that H is set to be equivalent to stage at the beginning. If I understand that correctly. Like you can't look at him and then have him go back into his curtain. That's not really how it works. Not that I've seen. So, anywho, there are times to look at Foxy and there are times to not look at Foxy. So I would look at him at the very beginning and then I would look at him at 26 if you have a chance. Other than that, he isn't the worst ever, but there is a 10% chance every frame that the camera is up when he has reached his final stage, and that's when his head is on the desk, I believe. So he should be dealt with. You should really be keeping an eye on that feller and not letting his doll be on the desk. So then there is Toy Freddy. Here we go. I was waiting for it to pop up. Okay, so down here, here's Toy Freddy. Because this is important to talk about. And then we need to do Chica next. So let's just open a tab so I don't forget. Chica open. Okay, so Toy Freddy. Every 10 seconds, the game checks if Mr. Hugs is at a closed door and then rolls basically 1 through 30. But it's 0 through 29 mathematically, like in the game's code. So if it is less than Toy Freddy's AI level, so if the number is less than 20, you'll move to a new camera. So there is a 2/3 chance that Mr. Hugs is going to move. If Cam 8 is being viewed during the roll, meaning during the time period, Mr. Hugs will automatically fail and not move. So that's why the camera's open at 10. So you set the door to be closed that Mr. Hugs is at, and then every time that you have the camera open in a 10-second interval, he'll be unable to move. So the reason you want him at the closed door is so when you stop looking at him, if he decides to move, he'll see the closed door and then have to go to a different door, and then there's also a 1/3 chance that he never moves at all. So you are setting yourself up for success in the future for every 10-second interval that occurs at. So it's very important. Basically, you're guaranteed, not guaranteed, but like you essentially are going to get a game over no matter what. Or Toy Freddy is going to get a game over, but you're going to be dealing with that, and that's fine just as long as it's not too early. So anyway, yeah, it says here like 1,000 minus 20 times 5, blah blah blah, who cares? Like, this is basically, you're gonna get a game over for Toy Freddy. And then the way he works is that once he's gotten a game over, every half second there is a 10% chance of attacking the player. So you can be gamerlicious and actually be in the cameras between, like, let's just say like you go 0.1 to 0.4 or like 0.6 to 0.9. And I would not like bank on letting that happen, but I would just like flip the cam and do it fast, and that's it. Like, then you're not giving him more opportunity to get you. So all together, not that bad to deal with, but this is why you take care of him and place the camera, or place the door where Mr. Hugs is, or close the door. I can't freaking talk. Okay, so here's Chica. So let's see here. Every 15-second interval, the game rolls a number. This is to make her like stop doing noise. You have to click change song, which you're not going to be doing in this case. If you miss 2 in a row, she becomes angry and will leave the kitchen, and has a 20% chance every half-second interval to attack the player when the monitor is up. So the way I thought she worked, and the way that I kind of seemed to see her behave, is that like when I was doing Old Friends, I was not using cam stalling. I was actually going into the cameras and changing the song, I believe, for her. But it was like, if you change the song incorrectly, like, well, she wasn't quiet, which, like, apparently there's a dead spot in the MP3 file or whatever, so that kind of sucks. But if you changed it or didn't change it quickly enough, you were basically dead. But I think it's because you're in the cameras for longer. However, it seems that here it says if 2 of the 15-second checks in a row are missed, then she will get you. So like you can miss one, but then like not miss the next. Maybe it means like you miss one, and then if you have the music box on again, then like she doesn't progress. I don't remember if like she ever reactivated her noises after missing one. I thought it was like miss one, you're done. But I might be wrong on that. But essentially, if you're consistent with pressing 5 at the right time, and maybe you miss one here and there, you're probably going to be fine. Like I said, I only got jump scared by Chica twice. So it's not actually that bad. Alright, so anyway, I'm going to go into the game real quick and show you something. And don't want to have that yet. Here. Get me out of here, what the frick? There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to go to Ultimate Custom Night. And I'm going to have just the puppet at 20. Visual effects off because it's gamerlicious. Alright. So essentially, see if I can get this. There we go. It's quiet, right? Like, as I pressed Control S or whatever. There we go. Okay, so watch the music box. This is the wind. So you can go a little over, but just barely. I wouldn't play around with it. And then the recharge on it is a lot longer. You can clearly see. So then, do that. But since I was late, I know like I have to restart it early.
Uh-oh, how unfortunate. Uh-oh, how
Oh, you ain't be doing that.
I'm gonna do a sneaky thing and throw a new contender in the ring.
Alright, you ain't be doing that. Alright. So here we go. Down again. So it's about every 15 seconds or so. Oh, it's... Alright.
Why do you hide?
Things happen, gamers. I didn't even hear her, actually, because I got speakers right now, not headphones. So you can see what that's like. You know, it's pretty obvious how that works. Like, if you miss, if you're late, you need to run it longer. You don't actually have to do it right at the 14-second interval, but that keeps you topped off, and that's very important because it allows for a little bit of breathing room. So anyway, back to the video game here. So yeah, back to the strat. Let's talk about that some more. So now 20 seconds is here. You know, Toy Fredbear, or Toy Freddy, sorry, deal with him, get him looked at. Okay, got my coins. Very cool. Really, truly, you want 10 coins before 26 seconds. If not, it's okay, but you're going to have to change the strat a little bit. I'm going to talk about having 10 coins at 26 seconds, though. So, basically what I would do, wait. Don't open the camera at 25. Open the camera at 26. Not exactly at 26. Like, don't have the screen open at 26, but, you know, 26.1 is chill. So, before I do that, look at the desk. Is there a fox or is there a rabbit? If there is a fox, get ready to look at his camera. If not, ignore. Move the wet floor sign back over to the left at this time. Normally, like if you go really fast and you buy the death coin and blah blah blah, you're good, you're set. Like once you buy the death coin, sign on the left. But in this circumstance, since we're later, Rockstar Chica's probably touched the sign on the right already. I think she always spawns on the right first, so she's about to do that. Or she probably already has by this time period, and now she's getting ready to do it on the left. So let's get that sign on the left. You know, make sure all your other office habits are dealt with. Now, if in here, for whatever reason, you want to run the heater for like just a second, like not even really a second, maybe just like click it on and click it off, like 0.9 seconds. Just kidding, it doesn't matter. But don't run it too long, is what I'm saying. Not anything over a second. If you really want to, you can. You don't have to do anything with the vent, top vent, because you blocked Mangle. You don't have to... Well, you should worry about the side vent. Like, pretty much always close the side vent when you're in the camera. I close it before I even go in there, to just not even bother with those idiots. But, point being, here we go. Go in. So now you're kind of in like a mad dash. I click vent system. You can click duct system, doesn't matter. But, like, it's to get Nightmare Mangle to go away if she happens to be there. Very quickly, get rid of that. Look at the fox if you need to. I didn't need to in this case. So I go over to buy the death coin. As you can see, the mouse is way below the buy button. The box is pretty big, but I would keep like a mental note of where it is in case Ballora shows up. It's like left of this little top part of the closet here. And like basically what I do, since the camera pans left and right, I just kind of like spam click like to the left, and I'll find it. But that's like if the screen's fuzzy, so go fast and it won't get fuzzy. Oh, got fuzzy. Okay, so I think that's Toy Chica, if I'm not mistaken. Ballora can also do this, and then Afton like might show up too, so don't get distracted. But anyway, straight to cam 6. Use Death Coin. Now, because DD showed up, or sorry, yeah, DD or XOR showed up at 11 seconds. I know that the hidden animatronics are spawning in, so the first spawn is always RWQ, or I think, right? Shadow Bonnie. Second spawn is Plush Trap. Third spawn's Withered Chica, or sorry, Nightmare Chica, etc., etc. The other 3 don't really matter that much. You'll just kind of deal with them when they come. But really, it's 2 and 3 that you need to think about, and really, it's only just 2. So I know that Plush Trap is here. He always spawns next to like the Fun Time corner or whatever you want to call it, Fun Time Cove. So I think he's about 1.5 seconds. I will look that up in just a sec. But he's gonna sit, and then he's gonna split, and then you have a good amount of time, like a couple seconds actually, before he jump scares you. But basically, I'm just sitting here. Don't forget to reset the ventilation while you're here. It's important. But he's probably already gone, if I had to guess. And I know I need to get out of the cams because I got to deal with the toys. So cam 2, and then out of the cams, and then you're good. Yeah, look at there's Toy Chica. Like, I really got to get this head Freddy hit on. That was close. Okay, so then the teeth come down and blah blah blah. I hope he's freaking the frick out. Alright. So let's get out of here. Go here and do Plush Trap. Alright, so his dealio is he waits by Funtime Foxy's stage. If you see him in the chair, watch him until he goes away. Failing to do so will let him kill you. Not exactly. There's a weird thing you can do where you can like kind of come back to the camera, but once he leaves, you do need to like get out of the cameras pretty quick. But there's no like number here, and I can't really force him to turn on either. I'd have to go into 50/20 to show you that, but it's about 1.5 seconds, like somewhere in between like 1.25 seconds to 1.25 seconds, maybe even 1 second. It's pretty short, but he was already gone in the time span that I showed you. And the second that he like flings out of the chair, you're good. You don't have to wait for him to like exit the screen or anything. It's just like basically right when he leaves. You just go to cam 2. So you go to cam 2 to stall the well, really 4 animatronics over there. And it is cam 2, right? Let me be sure on that. Hold on. What am I trying to do right now? Oh, I'm trying to go over here. Okay. And re-enable that. Alright, nice. So, whatever camera it is, right here. Help, you shut it. Stop. Trying to see some cameras. Yeah, cam 2. So you come, like, reset. He gone, cam 2, we out. Alright, awesome. So, I'll speak a little bit about this right now. If DD or XOR shows up later, it's fine. You're going to have to adjust your strat a little bit. So the big thing about that is the wet floor sign is going to have to get moved again at some point. So if you had to move it at 26, then double that basically. So what's the next interval in which she's going to appear? But here's the thing. A lot of guys don't even bother spawning in the first like 10 seconds. So truth be told, when you have just a sec, after you come out of the cams like this, then you're going to want to move the sign back over to the left. And that will stop the bird from progressing. Now, if you're lazy, you can just close the left door, but I wouldn't do that. It's probably more reliable to close the door, but you're going to waste a little bit more power. and you're going to need more power since you're going to be in the cams longer, and since you're still screwing around in the cams and paying attention to stuff and you're all worked up, you're probably going to forget about the music box getting turned off, and then the fan might accidentally be on, blah 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 blah. So it's kind of a mess. But really, what I'm saying here, as long as you buy that death coin, like you go into the cameras at 26, buy death coin, do thing, come out, and wait, then you're good. And when you go to buy the death coin, always reset the ventilation. Or when you go to use the death coin, always buy it. Don't accidentally go to cam 2. I've done it before. I buy the death coin and then I go to cam 2. I'm like, you're stupid. I mean, you can always click back up to cam 6, but it's just a lot easier to be on cam 2. Wastes a lot less time. So, yeah, you kind of just have to adapt to the strat. And then at that point, I would begin using the heater, and I would also begin closing the top vent, and I would check for Freddy, because he's probably going to have showed up by now. But if you do all this early enough, you probably don't need to use the heater or close the vent or do anything. I don't think I did, actually. I might have run the heater, but I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Okay. So, yeah, just a little tweak if you have to wait. But essentially, you're going in and buying the death coin to remove some trouble. So getting rid of Funtime Foxy is really important, and then also resetting the ventilation is really important, because if you wait to look at Plush Trap, a couple things: the vent hasn't been reset, and then also the death coin, if it hasn't been purchased, you're gonna get jump scared by Funtime Foxy, most likely. So I would be careful with that. Alright, so let's watch a little bit here. So I guess the first thing to talk about is the teeth. So that's handled by turning on the AC, which is important. You need to turn the AC on to cool the room down a little bit, because it's probably pretty hot. You haven't had the fan on at all. And you need to get rid of those teeth too. So if the temp goes over 100, then be sure you close both doors to get rid of Jacko Chica. I think I do right here. You can see temp fricked up. I ran the heater because of muscle memory, really, habit. But it's okay. And if you go over 100, just real quick, close the doors, but try not to do it, because it does waste more power. And like I said, the more usage you have, the worse off you are. Also, another thing, when you use the heater, it turns the fan off, which is a pretty good game design, I will say that. You don't want the fan on, wasting power cooling the room when you're trying to heat it. But at the same time, it's just something to keep in mind. It's another thing to worry about. You don't turn it off, so you don't think it's off. But you have to learn, if I press 3, it turns everything off. So, let's get this, why is this the case? Stop that there. Okay. So when you come out of the cams, I would have a flashlight on this guy. I wouldn't bother trying to save power or anything. You can actually avoid using the flashlight on this guy completely and closing the vent to save power, because if you think about it, flashlight's 1 bar, but you hold it for longer than you would have a vent closed if this guy jump scares you. It's within 200 milliseconds or something, but I just use the light. It's more reliable. It doesn't have a big spooky scream. And really, the guide that I'm giving you guys is to make the night more manageable in the first place. So, if XOR spawns later, I would recommend doing your cam flip after 39, because of the Bonnies. The Bonnie spawns, they're every 13 seconds, like I said. And I would not want to deal with them. So the next one's 52, I believe. Yeah, just try to avoid that if possible. So, anyway, anything I need to talk about? after you've dealt with plush trap, wet floor sign, geez, I tried to say wet sign floor, goes on the left. At that point, since the camera's on cam 2, she'll be stalled. Like she'll never have the ability to try to get over to the left, and even if she did, she would immediately be met with a wet floor sign. So you need to remember to do that if it was a later cycle where you had to move the sign back over to the right, you know, because like XR didn't show up, then you need to remember to go back over to the left. And really that's like when you have a moment after you've done the like the plush trap stuff. So at this point you don't really need to worry about Toy Freddy. You do need to worry about the guy on the desk. Pretty badly, actually. And you kind of just want to get your head straight here and take care of whatever needs to be taken care of in the office, and understand that you have a cycle change coming up. It's 40 seconds. Even if you haven't done the plush trap stuff yet, I would keep it in mind. And if you're ever in doubt, if you're ever like, oh shoot, I keep dying because I don't run the music box because I do my cam flip like too close to the next interval, just start it early. Like, you have a little power to play with, but maybe don't turn the fan. No, I would turn the fan off and then, like, you know, just only have the music box on. But if you ever need it, you can always throttle the fan a little bit. And let me talk about the fan real quick because it's on my mind. So I think it's every second without the fan on, the temperature raises 1 degree, and then every second with the fan on, the temperature goes down 2 degrees. Pretty sure, something like that. So in 15 seconds, how many degrees would you need to lower in order to get back down to 60? Well, and really it's more like 14 seconds, but the answer would be, let's just ballpark it, 90 degrees. So allowing the temperature to get to 90 is okay, but like, I think if it's, let me get this straight. I think the ventilation starts to go out faster if the temp is above 90, but I'm not too sure on that actually, and I'll have to look that up. But hot office is bad for ventilation, so keep it cool. Now, a fun trick you can do is like, you can maintain around 90 or a little below 90 by like fan on, fan off, fan on, fan off, and like you kind of throttle it and maintain a temperature. Or what you can do is run it and then get to a point where you know you can turn it off. So for example, you could lower, okay, let's just say we get to 50 seconds. If you have the temperature at 80 degrees at 50 seconds, by the time you hit a minute, it's going to be back at 90. So, I mean, you'd probably want it to be a little cooler, maybe 79, 78, something like that, you know, to where you give yourself a little bit of breathing room in case there's like an ad and a phone call and like a don't get distracted and like a Mr. Consequences guy. That's his name. And all that good stuff. But you can do that. You can play with the fan a little bit. Now, I wouldn't advise having it on a lot while it's the music box time, because if you do that, like I said, you're wasting exponentially more power than you would be with only 1 bar of usage. So try to keep yourself from doing that, and really the only thing that you are going to have to counter that is discipline with the timer. So like, you need to be watching the counter up in the top right and be sure that you're not exceeding those intervals where you need to be on music box or you need to be on power generator. So, but if in doubt, music generator comes before power generator, or music box, sorry, comes before power generator. And I would definitely recommend having the fan off if you can manage that, because like if the office is heating up to like the 90s and it's like 50 seconds, like, yeah, you need to cool it down. So use it, but don't keep it on, you know? And then I wouldn't say that there's any need to like turn on the power AC or anything. That would be like mega emergency, but I wouldn't touch it. I would just use the fan. The fan's actually pretty dang efficient when it comes to cooling. And I think it's funny that you can also use it in tandem with the silent vent, but like that's never getting used, so F that. I think like if it had zero usage, if silent vent had zero usage, that would be like, that would make it more like usable, but even then, I mean, wouldn't bother. So, anywho, where are we at right now? We're getting ready to do a change to global music box. So that was me closing for Freddy. Probably. Maybe it was Ballora. Probably Ballora, actually. Okay, so that change was a little late, as you saw. It's okay, though. Bonnie. Here's Bonnet. She shows up around this time. I think she's fourth in line. I think it goes Bonnet, Lolbit, Mini Renas. I'm not really too sure, but anyway, yeah, the hitbox on the nose is pretty big, so like that. All right, so we're still rocking here, keeping the mouse over at the left. Phantom Freddy, you don't need to shine every time he comes into existence. Let him like build up a little bit, just a little, and then shine him. There is an interval in which he will not show back up. So it's pretty quick. He can show back up pretty quickly, but he can also have a little bit of like a period where he doesn't come back. And then actually, if he screams at you, he disappears for even longer. Which is why I think people say like tank the hit, or really Ambience is the one that I've heard say it. But let him phase in a little, so like you're not constantly dealing with him. So you're not like flashlight, 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 flashlight. You know, like you're gonna have to hold the button a little longer, but it's okay. It allows you to kind of manage him, if that makes sense, like mentally, rather than manage him literally, where you just have him off. Like having cycles of him coming like phase in, phase out, and done. Wait, phase in, phase out. Otherwise, it's like fade in, flashlight, fade out, or like wait, fade in, flashlight, wait. Like it's then you're thinking too much about him. I think it just helps a little bit in terms of your brain. And it also like it makes you less sporadic with the flashlight, so you don't accidentally flash Nightmare Balloon Boy. So anyway, I also want to say Scrap Baby, I think every 5 seconds, if you're in the cams, she can activate, and then you just shock her. It's not that hard, but keep that in mind. Alright, so getting ready to do a change. Did my change. Okay, so I run the heater at the start of the cycle, if that's what you want to call it, because of habit. If you want to run it later at the very end, I would do that. It probably is better because it resets the nerds, like the duct nerds, but there are times where you kind of need to deal with the duct like right away. Like, you know, you change into a power gen cycle and you need to go reset the ventilation. So resetting the heater early generally is a good idea. It's kind of rare that you're going to get jump scared by like a duct animatronic at this point. So I think running it at the beginning is okay, and then it also kind of gives you a better baseline of like, okay, how long do I need to keep the fan on? Because like, let's just say you run the heater at 13 seconds. Well, you just heated the office and now you have to cool it back down right before you switch to the music box and you're supposed to have the fan off. And then you might need to keep the fan on for just another extra second or something, but it's okay. I mean, I think the office doesn't need to be at exactly 60 when you change cycles, but it definitely helps because once again, it gives you breathing room, which is important. Like you want to manage as much as you can, so in case you miss something else, you have a little bit of time to fix it. If that makes sense. All right, so Ideally, we'll talk about cam flips right now. So like ideally every 45 seconds you're going to do one. If you get an early XOR cycle, that's going to be thrown off a little bit, but you want to like really ride out this ventilation thing. So it's 50 seconds in between you clicking the button and you passing out. So like that, me pressing reset ventilation. I now have 50 seconds. So at 2:18 basically I will pass out. It's really important to try to space those out as best you can, but if I was being a gamer, I would have done that reset at 1:30. And that's just, like, that minimizes the amount of cam flips you have to do. But really, you can space out the cam flips really well, because like I said, you have 50 seconds. So, like, you can exceed that 45-second, like, mandate that I've made up, and, like, dip into like 47 and 48, and then you gain 3 seconds on your own timer, or you lose 3 seconds on your own timer, however you want to perceive that class and its fullness type mentality thing going here. But anyway, so let's talk about the cam flip exactly. So there is a specific spot which you're probably going to want to have your mouse in, and in this office it's right here. So the way I remember it is side vent, left side of the vent, second yellow stripe from bottom. So like mouse right here. I guess alternatively you could say like where the shadow on the floor meets the bright part of the floor, or like right in between like the tiles here, or like a little bit above the triangle. You know, like maybe like a full mouse's length, or like a little bit above it, and then like okay, maybe a little higher than that actually. The button's not very big, and neither is the hitbox. I don't really mind that, but it almost kills me later. So the less time you spend in there, the better. So like if Chica's mad, Chica can get you. If Toy Freddy's mad, which he probably is, he's gonna have a chance to get you. If Foxy's about to freak out on you, like his head's on your desk, you need to handle that too. So, do your thing as fast as possible, and also, I would recommend doing it before a 10-second interval. But also, I would recommend doing it, if possible, after a cycle change. Now, it doesn't have to be immediately after a cycle change. You know, it can be at like 21 seconds or 25 seconds or 28 seconds, whatever. But like, don't do it at like 13, because if you do it at 13, you might face like a distraction of some kind. Like you might hear the Nightmares or Ballora and focus on like pushing the key for them, and then like you are like, oh shoot, I didn't switch over to the music box, you know. So really the main priority should be like handling those cycles, because managing power is important. You want to have the generator on, and then managing the music box is also important. So I would recommend that. You'll see here like it ticks into 120, and I would prefer not to have this on my screen when I'm doing a cam flip, and I think you guys would agree. Also, this is the only screen, I think, of the ads that show the blonde girl's eyes. She has her eyes closed in like every single other one, and I thought that was kind of funny. But like I thought she didn't even have colored eyes, but like no official color, but whatever. All right, anyway, that kid looks like me on the right. I used to kind of look like that, but my eyes are blue. It seems kind of like El Chips is kind of like Casa Bonita, huh? Casa Bonita. Okay, I'm just kidding. Sorry. All right. So, couple things here. Mute the call. Rockstar Freddy is really like not that big of an issue. He'll talk for like 20 seconds before he jump scares you. And I would not recommend using the heater. Gamers, if you have the coins at this point, just pay the man. Like, don't run the heater and screw your cycles up and like throw the temperature out of whack and like do all this crazy stuff. Just pay him. You will get more coins later. It's 5 coins. It's not even that bad. Just pay him. It's crazy. But I would say mute call before you pay the guy, because the mute call happens or is more pressing of an issue. So like I don't have to deal with all of this crap because I just did my cam flip before the 10-second interval. So like, don't do things that are going to lead to distractions. Pay attention to the timer. Now, don't focus on the timer and be like, oh frick, it's almost 6 a.m. bros. Like, no, you need to pay attention to the timer because it is a tool to use. Like, don't allow yourself to get swept up and like, I'm going to beat it, bros, I'm going to beat it. Like, when you see 340 later, don't think like, okay, last cam flip. Like, just be like, all right, yep, going to do another flip, and then get out of it, and then be like, okay. And like, know that you don't need to do another one so you don't panic, but don't focus on it. So that's just like a little mental advice. Okay, so anyway, here we go. Paid, muted, fans on accident right now. This is what I mean. So you'll do stuff like this probably where you leave something on. I think like, even though I had meant to turn off the fan earlier when I switched to the music box, I accidentally left it on. So there's a little technique I'm going to tell you about. That's the, I call it the Insta-flip. Apparently it's called a 0 frame flip. But no, I call it the Insta-flip. So get fricked. What you're doing is you're technically telling the game like, I went to the camera, but you're not actually in the cameras. So like no camera related events will occur, but there are a few things that do happen because of that. And I guess like you can think about the figurine on the desk being a camera related event, but that's more like a camera flip related event than it is a viewing the camera event. So if you can do that Insta-flip or 0 frame flip, you can switch the figure on the desk. Now, if you read earlier, it says while in the cameras, there is a 1 in 3 chance that the figure on the desk changes every 2 seconds. So technically, every 2 seconds, you can flip the thing and maybe have a shot at getting Foxy off the desk, right? Well, apparently that's not always the case. You know, it is random. So the ballpark is like wait 6 seconds and then do the flip, and then he's probably gonna be gone. Now, if it's like later in the night and like you need to get this mofo like off your desk because like his body parts are showing up in your office, I mean, yeah, maybe try doing it every couple seconds. And once again, don't do this at like a minute and 30. Do this when you have, you know, time where you're not going to get distracted by other stuff. So I'd keep that in mind. I think like even if he has entered your office, like you see his legs, I think keeping Bonnie on the desk is still important, because if Bonnie's on the desk, I think the timer stops or the counter stops, I think. The only reason that I would recommend not doing that would be because doing more Insta flips, yeah, that's right, I'm using my vocab, means more chances of messing them up. They're not hard, but I have messed them up. I've lost runs because I've goofed. So anyway, got to turn this fan off pretty soon. All right, it's off. So I can't currently see the figurine. I have to pan right and then pan left, and I do it quickly to avoid Nightmarion. And what I look for is the legs. So like if you're looking, let's just say parallel with the bottom of the Wet Floor Signs logo or design, like triangle thing, you'll probably see some legs. Now I went a little fast there, but like you really have to try to track like who's there. So that was Bonnie, I'm pretty sure. But I think like, I don't know, I think I forget or something. But I'm pretty sure it's Bonnie right now. Yeah, it was Bonnie. Okay. So that's the thing. Like, if you can identify a color better, great. If you can identify a silhouette better, great. If you can identify like a certain portion of the doll, then great. But anyway, I'm gonna back it up here. So like, I'll show you. It's Foxy, right? So I don't know that yet, but I do know now. Like, I can see like the way he's standing is not Wait, what? Hold on. Is that not him? That is him. Yeah, okay. Now it's not. Okay. And I saw that. But I didn't do it like right now, right at 1:30. Because that would have been stupid. So, anyway, yeah, really important, like get the fan back on, get the power gen on, cool the office down. If you get to 60 before your next cycle, turn the fan off for just a second, and then maybe turn it on for a second right at 44, and then switch, you know? You don't need the fan on when it's at 60 degrees. It's just like, now you're just being spoiled. That would be like if you had your AC blasting all day in real life. Like, well, guess what? I got solar now. All right, anyway, let me talk about power, like keeping a mental track on power. Let's just call it that. So, you have 100% power, and if you use all of it by the end of the night, you will have 0. That is 6 hours. So half of 6 hours is 3 hours. Half of 100 is 50. So at 3 o'clock, having around 50% power is probably a good idea. Now you can like divvy that up even more and say that like, okay, so 6 parts of 100 is like a little under 20. So like I think it's like 18% or 17%. So like if you're using like if it ticks to 1 a.m. and you're like at 82%, you're doing all right. And then like if you go to the next one and you're at like 64% or 65%, you're doing all right. And then, you know, beyond. Now, the early part of the night is more power intensive than the later portion of the night because you'll be in the cameras. And you'll be opening and closing doors and vents and this and that and all this crazy stuff. So when you're just chilling in the office like this, you're using less power. So I would say like if you're above 80%, when you're all done with Plush Trap, you're doing okay. Like around that time, you have more than 80 at 1 a.m. You're definitely doing good. I think you can get away. Like I think the best I've ever done is like 90%. That might have been in like 48:20. I really forget. But anyway, yeah, just something to think about. Like if you notice, oh shoot, you know what? I am not really doing too well in power. Then make a mental note and be like, I need to be better about my power gen cycles. You know, like don't run the music box less, but do be more critical about pressing the buttons at like 201, for example, because you can see I'm still running the music box. So anyway, yeah, not too lucky here. Like I'm getting kind of scared. I kind of want to do a cam flip soon, and I'm gonna in just a sec. Now this is what I'm talking about like I run the heater early because if I don't, then like I haven't run the heater yet. And you can run the heater just the smidge during a music box thing, and then you'll just have to run the music box for just a smidge longer if that's how you want to do it. But I typically try to use the heater during a power gen cycle unless it's an absolute emergency. So luckily I'm in a power gen cycle here. Now this is why you stretch out those intervals when you need to do a cam flip. Like try to use the whole 50 seconds basically. Like don't go to 50 because you'll literally black out and then you can't press the button. But like get right up on like 48, 49, 47, you know, like around there. Like the further past 45 you can go, the better, because like I said, you can kind of divvy up the cam flip timings into 45-second intervals as like a baseline. So so I'm doing it after 2, so I don't have to deal with ads or anything weird, right? Pretty smart. Okay, camera up. Now, I suppose I forgot to talk about this, but this should be pretty like easy info. Like everyone should know this already. So like heater on, and deals with the duct animatronics. Close left door, wait to hear thunk. It's going to be 1.2 seconds, I believe. That's Freddy Fazbear. He has a like a longer thunk timing, and I think it's to distinguish him from Ballora in case they're both there at the same time. You hear 2 that are like far apart from each other, and you don't think that it's like the noise file bugging out. So be sure you get Freddy. If you don't get Freddy, leave the door closed, but close it right before you're about to do the flip. And then mandatory top vent needs to be closed. Do not close right door. There's not going to be anything over there. Unless for whatever reason you activated Jacko Chico on accident, but hopefully you didn't. And then you do need to close the the side vent. I almost said left vent. I suppose to them it's the left vent. You know, they're coming in to you. Unless the opening to their vent is on the right, and then they spawn in on your left. All right. Anyway, whatever. So, yeah, those fools, they are annoying, and while they might not get you, they could get you, and it could be bad. Like, JJ pops out, and it's like, oh, Blora's here, or like, Toy Freddy is like zooping in, and like, or Toy Freddy, sorry, Phantom Freddy is about to like show up, and like you need your flashlight for a sec. Now, like JJ coming out is worse than BB coming out, but like you are rolling a dice, or you're basically flipping a coin. Is an easier example. Like, okay, I didn't close the vent, so like hopefully this guy comes instead of this guy is what you're saying, which is stupid. So just close it. But anyway, yeah. So like handle Freddy Fazbear. Make sure the heater was handled, and then like WFFW is how I do it. And I don't even open those until I do the mask, actually, which like you don't have to do it like that. You can do them as you're doing the mask, but that actually saves my life, and you'll see it. And it's really kind of just like muscle memory saving me on accident, but you'll see that later. So anyway, here we go here, right? About to do my flip. It's kind of hard to tell like where to put your mouse now, because you know your sight picture is blocked here, but hopefully your muscle memory is pretty good. And I guess if I had to say anything, it would be, you can see there's a joint on the mini arena there. Like it would be her right like arm joint. It's like a ball, and you can see that. I would line up with that. So there. Got it. Perfect. This is such like a cluttered screen. There's so much going on here. This is ridiculous. Alright, so there we go. Easy fast flip. Deal with all these guys. I pan to the right to spray Nightmare Balloon Boy because I saw him up. So I've already seen Foxy, and it's important that you guys have too. Like, you need to know, like, oh, hey, I got to deal with Foxy. Now, I'm going to talk about power again. So it's not quite yet 3 a.m. and I'm at 48%. Now, I win the night with with more than 0. So it's not like I lose all my power. And this is what I mean about the later portion of the night not being as like power intensive. So, you know, if you don't have, let's just say, above 80%, or 82% at 1 a.m. Don't beat yourself up. Now, if you're at like 60%, you might be screwed. But like, you'll see what percentage I'm at. I mean, you can go back in the video, but I'm going to replay the entire video anyway to show you after I'm done with my big explanation here. But you'll see how that goes. So anyway, yeah, so Phantom Freddy's still here. I'm going to need to deal with him again, but like, I know that he's not completely opaque, so like I don't have to deal with him quite yet. He's still fading in because I blasted him a little. And I think even if the flashlight's on, like if you blast him and then you move to the right, I'm pretty sure it still counts as like you're shining him, because that works with the frettles, I know. But maybe that's just the frettles. Okay, so anyway, I did a flip right at 10. I wasn't thinking about it. I just saw the fox. But you can do a flip through the ad. It just is distracting. Like, it might catch you for just like a split second, and then that split second was the difference between you getting the Insta-flip and you getting freaking yelled at by an animatronic. So I got Bonnie really quickly. Awesome. Very cool. So now you just kind of have to be smart. Like, you know, you've gotten here. You just need to keep doing what you're doing, and you should know how to do it. Alright, almost died to that guy. Very unwise, if you will, but if you hear like the thunk timer and you look at the time, like that was close. And you hear me, I say spooky in this, but like that almost killed me. So just like either have good reflexes or be generally aware, like, oh, Afton might show up soon, because I didn't really do that. So anyway, you know, you can see here clearly that I'm making mistakes, but I'm still rocking. I'm still getting her done. Now, I forgot to mention something earlier. The cam flip that I did at 2 minutes, ideally that would have been around 2:15. So ideally, this cam flip's going to be around 3 minutes because that's 45 seconds after the good flip. And by spacing out my flips, I am getting closer and closer to that interval. So right here, you can see that was 8 seconds, but I missed. Oh no, now, okay. Here's the thing, huge problem, major problem here. Don't do this. Okay, that's step one. Don't be stupid and miss. You will probably lose if you do this. Now, thank goodness, Nightmare Balloon Boy wasn't up. I didn't even think to look. I didn't even notice Golden Freddy was here. I figured he probably was. I didn't notice that Help You was here. I saw the 5 coins thing, but I was like, oh fudge, like I need to get back in the cameras. I'm about to pass out. That was where my brain was at. So I didn't think like, oh, I'm done. Muscle memory, open the vents. I didn't think like, oh, muscle memory, like I need to put the mask on. I think I did think about putting the mask on because I knew like cam sequence complete, but I was like, oh shoot, I missed, and it overrode, and I was like, I need to press S. And luckily I pressed S and not moved my mouse, because if you move your mouse to flip the cam, then you're going to be off the reset button, and then you're going to have to move your mouse over to the reset button, and then a bunch of time passes, and then you're fricked, and then... Okay, so I got it. Anyway, so that was at 2:54, which actually I extended my interval by about a 1 second period there. Got a time extension, which can't get enough of those, can you? So anyway, look at LP's like, boom! Alright, so that was nasty. That was like, I did a bad thing there. So got her, muted that, did that, blurred that. Okay, but now I'm like, oh shoot, Foxy. Alright, dealt with Foxy. See, like, you need to deal with the things immediately that you need to deal with. But don't forget, there is a guy on your desk that you also have to deal with. So this is why I recommend looking at him early, because if he were in the office right now, it would be bad. Like, you just kind of need to reduce the amount of luck that you're dealing with. So, like, you don't have to deal with luck until Foxy's in your office, but reduce the time until he's in your office. And that's why you do all the precautionary stuff, like keeping the figure off the desk and looking at him early to make sure that if he does progress, it's not as bad as it could be because of that number compounds. So anyway, alright, so this is going to be the last flip, so I'm preparing. I'm closing the left door here, as you can see. And I'm doing this before 3:45, that's the last timer before 4:30, and 4:30 is the end of the night. But I know that my ventilation is not going to allow me to exceed 3:45, or at least I don't think I can. I'm concerned because I know that it's coming, and this is the last one I'm going to need to do. Like, I have some stuff on my mind, but at the same time, this is huge. Okay, remember what I said, 50 seconds is all you need. That's from button press to fade out is 50, or to zonk out is 50 seconds. So fortunately, hours are only 45 seconds, I think. I really forget. But I would imagine they are, because if you divide the total number of seconds, I think is 270 or something like that, divide by 6, and then you get 45. I think. I don't really remember, but point is, if you do your cam flip after 3:40, you will clear the night in regards to not needing to go back into the cameras. So like you are clear from cameras if you do a post 3:40 flip. So a couple things about that. Don't flip the camera at 3:42, I think. I'm pretty sure that is a Bonnie timer, if I'm not mistaken. Like Rockstar Bonnie and Wither Bonnie couldn't show up. I'm pretty sure it's 342. 342 or 343. I could look up a table, so I guess I'll do that later. But basically, don't look at the camera at that point. And like, yes, you can do a cam flip at 345 exactly, but you need to be sure that you've already switched the buttons, or that you can consciously switch the buttons, like be fast enough on the keyboard, or like, you know, it's more stuff to manage in such a short span of time, so I would recommend not doing it, and you'll probably see me change off of power gen here, because like 20% is pretty good. Like, that's actually quite a bit of power right now, and as long as I keep the fan off, should be fine. Speaking of keeping the fan off, I accidentally didn't have the fan on while running the power generator, so my bad, boys, but it happens. You can see it's a little hot in here, and I guess maybe I had overheated the office earlier or something, but like it's getting close. Like, I'm still in the 70s and I've only got 4 seconds left. Okay, so deal with this, deal with that. Okay, so I just barely avoided that. It's 343.2. Yeah, don't be looking at the camera around that time. But right now it's like, all right, we got to handle this. Okay, so I think, yeah, I'm still running the fan and the power generator. Let's see, do I change it? No, I don't, not fast enough. But it doesn't matter at this point because Chica's dealt with. Okay, so here's Foxy now. He's on my desk. Like, that has more to do with, like, me managing the doll. But, like, I managed the doll. And then I looked at him, like, really early. But that could have been the difference between, like, him getting in here and getting me, or him not being here earlier because he didn't progress a certain amount of stages because I handled it earlier, because like during, like, he only went up by a certain amount of stages since I looked at the doll, and because of the cam flip that I did, blah blah blah. Basically, it's just like I could concoct some huge scenario, but I definitely recommend dealing with Foxy early. He apparently, I've read, is the bane of high-level UCN players or something like that. But to me, it's like, handle him. And then if you handle him, then it's basically like Toy Freddy, where he might get you, but like you did what you could. You didn't just say like, it's fine, and then he gets you. You tried, and you did help. And then here you are. Like, you can more reliably get to a point in the game like this, which is kind of what the guide is like consistency that's easy enough to follow. So, anyway, yeah, Foxy's here. You don't have to worry about him now. Do not do an Insta-flip at this point. There's no point. Yes, the fox is on the desk. Yes, the fox head is on the desk. Don't try to do one. It doesn't matter. You're not going to look at the camera again. There's no point in looking at the camera. There's literally 0 point in looking at the camera at this point. If you have done your cam flip after 3 minutes and 40 seconds, you are fine. Do not look at the camera. Don't do it. Don't press S on accident. I've done that before, but don't do it. All right, so big sigh because I'm like, oh shoot, like, okay, that was close. I think I was like sighing because of Foxy. I was like, oh, that was okay. Like, head's on the desk, but like, all right, I don't need to flip. All right, so you're not done. Okay, this is a huge thing. You're not done. You have to keep playing. You think like, oh, good, I did the last cam flip. No, like, if you mess up there with Nightmare on, you're dead. You mess up there with Nightmare and you're dead. If you let Bonnet walk too far, you're dead. You keep the fan on too long here and you forget to switch to the music box, you're dead. The last switch here, like, don't let Toy Freddy come in. Don't get scared by, you know, Springtrap and be like, oh, frick, like, he's up there, I gotta close the vent. No, like, don't. Just do everything you normally would do and you'll be good. However, I will say that you can do something that you don't normally do. Now, you can turn the fan off, because basically frick the fan, and as long as it doesn't get too hot, you're fine. Like, you can turn it off maybe even a little earlier in your last cycle if you want to. And you also don't need to run the heater. Fun fact, I think I did it on accident, but yeah, You're not going back into the cams. You don't need to deal with the mediocre melodies. You don't need to press 3. So not only does that save you power, but it saves you even more power by not needing to run the fan for even longer. So, but on top of that, like, really the power doesn't matter at this point outside of not speeding up the ventilation. Did I say power? I meant temperature. So, yeah, as long as it's like relatively cool, then you're fine and you will win. As long as you don't frick everything else up. But here's what I'm getting at. This is the big tip that you don't have to do aside from all that stuff, which is kind of minor. But like, because even if you run the heater a little bit, it's chill. Like, not that big a deal. It's actually not chill. It's actually warm. But anyway, okay, enough nonsense. So music box management. Now, remember how, you know, it takes about 16 seconds to charge her back up, right? Somewhere around there. Gamer tip, you don't need to keep the music box wound beyond 430. So if you want to, you can half charge the music box beyond like 414, and then get to a point where you know, like, okay, I'm good, but I need power now, and then you just turn the music box off and go and turn on the power generator, and you are good. You'll get to 430. The music box will basically have run out, and you don't have to worry about Chica getting you because that requires a cam flip. As long as you timed it correctly, you don't have to worry about the puppet getting you, and you don't die to power, which is great. So, and then be mindful too. Just because the power gen's on doesn't mean the fan has to come on. That's muscle memory. Be conscious of that, where you know it's a time that you don't need to turn the fan on. That's important. You know, there's a lot of stuff in this game that you do need to remember and that you should have kind of baked in. But then there's a lot of stuff in the game that you need to consider a variable, and this would be one of them. So if you need the power, I think it's like after 422 or 423 or something like that. Feel free to turn the generator on. If not, write it out. As you can see here, I wrote it out. Now, I knew I could turn on the power generator, but I was like, all right, 6%, it's only a couple seconds, I think I'm good. If you're at like 1%, I would turn it on because you might need the door for Ballora like I did. And as you can see here, I even flashed Phantom Freddy because I'm a nerd. I flashed that guy out of my freaking memory. Like, that was it. Last time I ever have to deal with that guy. But, anyway, then night complete, as you can see here, all Gucci. Did I move my mouse? It looks like I did a little bit. Like, that should be not in that position. Like, anything left of the door basically is fine for Nightmarion, but, like, it should be over here. I don't know what the frick I'm doing. I think must have been because I clicked, like, mute call or something, or what was I doing? I think I was adjusting my mouse, and then it just happened to go there. Alright, so that's it. Flap. Here, stop. So the big thing that I'm going to talk about here is, like, this is stuff that you're going to want to keep in mind for doing the night. The music box is your main priority, but it is variable. The power generator does matter, but maybe not as much as you think, although do it as much as possible. Just stick to the 1416 and be willing to make changes if you need to. Keep the temperature below 90 if possible. If you overheat, no big deal. You know, just cool her down, close doors. Let me look at some guys here. Think about this. Keep the doll off the desk. Do your cam flips in the main portion of the night, or in the home stretch, if you will. Try to aim for 45-second intervals. Understand that you have 15 seconds, or 45 seconds, sorry, and go as close to that interval as you can. So, like, when the thing starts flashing and you start blacking out, diarrhea. No, sorry. Know that you might have more time than you think, because, like, I know I used to panic when I would see the flashing triangles, and I was like, oh shoot. But like, no, you're good. You actually have some time as long as the office is cool. So aim towards doing the flip at that interval. So like, if it starts getting hazy at let's just say 2:05, like it's getting really dark. See if you can aim towards 2:10. Now don't do it at 2:10, but like let it get a little closer because those seconds do matter. Because if you do your cam flips too early, what's going to happen is you're not going to be able to do a cam flip post 340, so you're going to have to do another one, which you can do, but the more cam flips you do, the more you open yourself up to getting jump scared. And at that point in the night, Foxy's probably on the desk, like his head's probably there. So like, do not allow that to happen. Like, definitely try to have things handled. And make sure you get rid of as much luck as you can. So like, run the heater because you don't want to just assume that like Ned Bear and Orville are chill. Don't do stuff in 13-second intervals. Take care of Toy Freddy early. Take care of the doll. Look at Foxy, when you have the ability to. Close the right vent. Don't try to save the power. Be mindful when you go back into the office. Be sure that like you appropriately view everything that you need to. Just like, you have to have that memory, that muscle memory. Like when you're dashing from like Toy Freddy to Prize Corner to Fun Time Cove, and then like waiting to Cam 2, like that needs to be fast and precise and all that. And then same thing, like your cam flips when you're resetting ventilation, those need to be precise and quick as well. But there are certain things that, while yes, you need to do them and you need to understand why you do them, and in a sequence or whatever, you need to be willing to make a change if necessary. Because like, imagine if you were having like power troubles and you're like, nope, gotta stick to it, gotta keep this one on, like the music box has to stay on, and then you lose the night at like 4:28 because you didn't run the power generator. It's like, no, dude, you gotta think a little bit. Like you have to stay in the game. You gotta keep your head in the game, but you also you have to be able to do certain things on the fly. So like, I'll give you a sport, for example, because everyone loves this one. Football, yeah. Okay, so like, imagine if like, I'll give you two problems. There's a guy, like a wide receiver, I guess, who like, every time that there's a ball coming at him, he has to think about catching it. Now, they might think about how the ball is approaching them and think about like where their hands need to be, but like, imagine if every time that you had a ball thrown at you, you had to think about like, okay, I need to put my hands out, and then when I grab it, I need to like hug it, or like, I need to like clasp it, or like, no, you don't do that. Like, you learn how to catch a ball. Like, you start to like bake that in. Now, alternatively, imagine like a guy who he knows how to catch the ball like super well basically every time, but then like he doesn't know where to run. Like, he caught it and he was running, like he's doing everything he's supposed to, but then like there's like a defense line in front of him and he doesn't really understand like maybe where to go. Like, so one play it happens, like, right, like they try to block him and he gets around it, but then like the next one, a different setup happens, like there's a different formation of players, and he's like, well, how do I deal with that? It's like, no, you need to know how to do the mechanical stuff, and you need to have like a rough idea of where you're going, but you also need to be able to adapt to the situation a little bit. So the same principle applies here, and I know it's not like a perfectly translated idea, but the same concept applies here, where like there's a rough outline of the night, where like you can basically expect things to happen, but there are going to be differences every time you play it, and you need to be ready for them. So like, perfect example, Is Afton going to show up at like the same time every single time? Probably not. So you should be ready for that. You should, you know, if you can do it reactionary, like I said, great. I did on this one, and I actually reacted pretty slow. Normally I'm pretty quick about getting him, but that's because like I have better focus. But I was like, oh, okay, like I was kind of like eyebrows up, like looking around like the Doom guy, you know, like thinking like, all right, what do I do? Not really. Although I did play a couple games like that where I was kind of like, I died to Nightmarion because I was like using my peripheral to watch something, and I didn't realize where my mouse was and I died. But like I was not looking at the monitor, and I was like looking out of the right side of my right eye to like identify, I think the bottom left corner or something. I was looking at like power usage. Like I looked at timer, and then I looked down there, and then like I kind of like looked away from the screen for a sec, and then, you know, pressed 5 in space, and then like Nightmarion came in. But I think I also had the mask on or something. But anyway, so that's the big thing is like know what you're doing, know how to get there, know how these guys work, understand that like you have the mechanical ability to perform these tasks, but then be willing to change it on the fly if you need to. Like understand your resources and how you affect them and how they're going to affect your actions, and then carry out a strategy as necessary. So that's what's going to get you like an easier time with success. If you want to like bank on the same stuff happening every time, you can, but you're probably going to lose the night like 80 times before you ever see something remotely close to how that original night went that you were trying to learn. So just be ready to adapt is the big thing. So one thing I'll mention, but I'll talk more about at the end, is like you also need to have like confidence in yourself and tell yourself like, yes, I can. And I'm not going to tell you that. I know Ambience was like, don't worry guys, I know you can do it. But like, no, you need to know you can do it. Like you need to have that come from within yourself. You need to garner that strength and succeed because you made it happen. You know, like you can have help. There's nothing wrong with having help. But you need to be the one to do it because you're in control in this scenario. So yes, you can, but tell yourself you can. And I shouldn't have to say that. You should have some confidence. And I know there's going to be gamers out there that are like, but like I don't. Well, guess what? You need to. You need to think about that. Like, do some things in life that boost your confidence and work towards becoming a stronger person to do better for others too. How about that, gamers? You know, you got to learn to walk before you can run, but you know, I know you want to go for a jog, so get on it. Start working on that. All right. Anyway, enough being your psychiatrist. I'm gonna replay the night here, and I am gonna talk through it. I'm gonna just kind of point stuff out that happens in real time, and try to maybe give you an idea of where my mind was at a little bit better here, like in real time rather than explaining it. So I'm gonna start the night. We're gonna talk, and then we'll go look at some more tables. Or stuff on that wiki, you know, like I'll look at a character list and kind of go in and show you exactly more how these characters work. Maybe not exactly how they work, because that wiki was missing info about Plush Trap, but... Alright, so here we go, 50-20 win. So I should add my mouse over here, but whatever, double click. Alright, cool, so a little late.
Moved the sign too.
Yeah, I should have moved the sign. I'm talking about last time, like last game. Alright. So I really missed the cam flip there, but like I thought I had it. Knew I had to do helpy. Change the thing over at 50. Good, that's down. Okay, I wait here. Like I just straight up didn't try to do another cam flip because I wanted to wait until 20 seconds to be in the cameras. Because sometimes like if you flip too early, or sorry, if you flip too near, like 10 seconds or 20 seconds or whatever, you'll come out and then it'll be like, gotta deal with Nightmare Balloon Boy. Gotta close this vent. Oh, it didn't thunk. Oh, too late. Now it's 20 seconds. And then, like, also help. He's, you know, dancing up on the monitor or whatever he's on. I don't even know what he stands on. I think it's a monitor. So I waited there because, like, if you do the strat like this, you're basically gonna get 10 coins. Like, sometimes you don't, but sometimes you do. So, like, it's chill. Alright, 26. Thunk back over. Now go fast. Buy a coin. Click thing. Reset vent. Get out. Accept. I can't believe I clicked skip with my mouse. Although, yes, I can, because I needed my hands to be over on the left side of the keyboard, because if they weren't, I couldn't have dealt with any nightmares if I had them. You can hear doors opening and closing. Okay, quickly get that on. Deal with her. By 33, she'll get you. Okay, there's baby. I noticed like the big flashing red number in the bottom right. I think this guy fades in faster too with the heater on. Okay, so get my brain sorted out here. Nice. Okay, turn stuff off. Left the fan on for just a sec. It was okay. Deal with her. Nice. Don't even ignore the big FNAF World guitar shred. Doesn't matter. Just ignore that. Okay. Now there, like, I had a little downtime, so I had my hand over on enter, and then there's lullbit. Very easy to deal with. Don't accidentally, like, forget to press F when lullbit shows up, because that happened to me one time. Afton got me at 58 because lullbit showed up at 57 or something like that. I went to type LOL, and then my brain was like, wait, which one do I do first? And then I died. So, like, I thought about, like, coming off of LOL, but I thought I could finish it, and then I goofed it, but... Alright, I went back a little bit to show the flip, to like WF, flip. I was just like spamming the button, but like really, as long as you click it, it's good. Okay, left the fan on accident, but I noticed, like I caught it, I was like, oh wait, hold on, turn that off. So like right now, I don't need the fan back on, it's only 67 degrees. Now it's hot as frick, but like, I'll get down to 60. You'll see. Like, look. Okay, I could turn the fan off right now, but like, if you have other things to worry about that, because you do have a little room to play. Like, I finished the night with 4%, and even that, like, you know, you can turn the power gen on at the very end if you really have to. So, okay, so checking for the figure on the desk. I know I got a cam flip that I should be doing at 2:15, but it's going to be a little earlier than that, so it's starting to get pretty dark. Okay, it's after 2. Nice. Deal with the door. Close vents. Okay, good. Reset. Nice. Okay, dealt with that guy. Now, if I missed Old Man Consequences there, it actually wouldn't have been that bad. It's 13 seconds. So, like, if you come out of the cameras and you miss Old Man Consequences, it's no big deal. If you are getting close to doing a cam flip, oh my gosh. And you miss Old Man Consequences, that's going to suck. But typically it's going to be okay, so. But try to count like 13 seconds in your head. Like, if you miss, if you're like, look up at the timer and be like, okay, plus 13. And then that's when you can do your flip, so. I think it's 13. Alright, Afton chat, here we go, listen to this. Oh my gosh. That was just way too close. Spooky. I think I accidentally closed 2 doors there or something, or I closed the vent and then closed like a door for Ballora or something. I don't know. Okay, so I'm aiming for 3 minutes, but like, imagine. Okay, oh, missed. Okay, 3:45, alright. So now I can go like, let's see, that was in like 50, so like I can get to like 3:45, is that right? Hold on. Miss. Okay. 3:44. So we'll see how close I get to that. I don't think it's exactly 50 seconds. I think that's like the comfort zone or something like that. But basically I know, like, in my head, okay, I did that one pretty close to 3. So I'm okay. But I need to aim for 3:45. They say, like, if you shoot for the stars and even if you miss, you might land on the moon or something like that. But that's the thing, like, have it in your brain, like, aim for this, and if you miss, it's alright. So same thing like with the music box, it's like, aim for 14, but if you're like 14.7, doesn't matter, dude, like, you still beat 15, that's the point. Because if you set your goals loose, then like, you're going to be disappointed when they're even more loose. Okay, so this is like, I am cutting it close here. That was close, like that actually was close. So you can see it's not exactly, you know, 50 seconds, but it's like, don't frick around with that. Okay, exhale. Yep. Alright, so it's not over yet, gamers. You need to run through the finish line. Do not walk over the finish line. You need to, like, continue running beyond the checkered tile on the ground, you know, like the actual, like, finish line, and run over that, and then you're done. Like, once you're back on the track and you're off of the checkered line and you ran through the tape, then you're done. But run through the finish line. Slow down after it's actually over. And even then, maybe run a little bit extra. Alright, so there you go. That's how you do it. Yeah, Ballora can still show up, and then I think, like, Afton can also show up. So if he's 29, then it's like... he probably shows up in, like, the 20s here, like around 420 or so, if it's him. So, yeah, there's, like... there might be toy animatronics, and there's Ballora. And beyond that, you're good. And then Bonnet was like, she showed up, didn't she? No? Maybe it was earlier. I don't know. Yeah, she can show up multiple times, but whatever. Okay. And then like ding dong, ding dong. Nice. Alright, so we're not playing that next, so stop it. Oh crap. That's alright, that's not what I meant to do. Did you cut that out? Alright. So, I'm gonna look at this real quick. If I click this, what happens? Oh, they all have, like, things. Does Lulbit have a thing? No. Alright, what about, like, strategy references? Alright. Writing the mall? Dang. What about, like, the outlet? Got him. Alright, so in this one, I know that, like, cam stalling actually has... okay, whatever. It has an article. And we'll look in here, too. We'll look in some of these. So, yeah. This is how I actually learned how to camera stall. I never really knew for sure. But this talks about doing it on cam, too. And there's only certain ones that can be stalled. So, like, you can stall Toy Freddy. You can stall Lefty, or you can stall 4 animatronics. So, like, obviously stall 4 animatronics. And then here's the plushies, and it shows, like, the times that they may appear at. And then the cost of the coins goes up based on, you can see, like, 10 plus x over 2. So x being AI level. So, like, 10 plus 1/2 is 10.5, but I think it rounds down. Yeah, any decimal is rounded down. So then they become 20, and that sucks. Like, this really should have been the only plush, you know? Like, truly. Come on, guys. How'd they get the transparent image of her? It's kind of funny. Alright, so... then there's this. This is just like general tips. I think, yeah. Freddy has 1.2. And then Afton bonks the door at a specific time. I've died to opening the vent too quickly to him. This is the thing about allowing Freddy to jump scare you and then just closing the vent. Poor Daco. Yeah, you did the... clicking the wet floor sign is actually incredibly precise, and you can like click like this, like click click in the black screen, and it will load a double click still. Like, it's really, the double click is executed on the exact point where the mouse is right as the game loads, so it's like you don't have to be super critical, but you do when you're in the game. And I don't think it's the exact pixel. It's just like, it's very, very unforgiving. I think it really should have been like 1 click to move the wet floor sign, in my personal opinion. Maybe they did that because of the bird. Like, Scott didn't want you to accidentally click the wet floor sign because the bird shows up, but then, like, go over to the right side and click it, or, like, have the bird higher, because they're not even really that close. Avoid opening the cams for as long as possible. Other stalling. And then this talks about Toy Freddy, like having him viewed at 10-second intervals. If you want to do the 30-second interval for him, you can. I just don't really recommend it because of the potential Ballora and Toy Chica appearance. It's really annoying. Alright. So this is the technical wiki, but this is really it. It's pretty incomplete here, but maybe in the future it'll be better. Alright, so let's look up a couple things, shall we? Let's see. Summoned by DD. Oh, what? Here, how about summoned by XOR? Yeah, okay, here it is. It goes Bonnet, Mini Arena, then Lolbit. Oh, interesting. I've had XOR show up early. Alright, so let's look at some guys that we need to deal with here. So, Frederick, no. Bonnie, no. Foxy, we already looked at. Toy Freddy, we already looked at. DB and JJ should be fine. These guys should be fine. Look at the marionette, actually. The puppet. Yeah, I think it's just marionette. I don't know if it's the marionette. Okay, so here's the drain rate, but really who cares about that? 90 seconds and 33.3 seconds. Okay, this is respectively, so at 20 it's 33.3 seconds. Yeah, you do have a little wiggle room, but like, no, that's 15 seconds. Wait, what the frig? 100 units. Takes this many units per second. Alright, why don't we do some math real quick then? So we got AI level, 2 plus 1 every second. So 3? So 100 divided by 3. That's 33.3 seconds. Is that true? Do you only wind the music box halfway? No. How does that work then? Let's see. Because it's 16, you rewind it up to a full charge, and then it drops, and then at 15 it goes back up. So that's, I don't know if that's true. 20 divided by 10 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And it starts at 100 units? That's not, there's no way this is true. Oh, holding down the button is so good. Feels so good. Alright, well anyway, yeah, the ventilation drains a lot more quickly, and every second that the monitor is raised, the puppet has a 33% chance to attack the player, so don't raise it, obviously. If the global music box is turned on when he escapes, this will slow him down for a few seconds, giving you a chance to make it to 6 a.m. Interesting. And you can death coin the marionette, that's good. Alright, so let's see who else we got here. I don't think I need to talk about Jacko Chica. There's a lot of FNAF 4 guys. But of course, this is the custom night for FNAF 6. So of course, there's the most characters from this game. Alright, let's get the exacts on... oh, it's Nedbear. Hold on. I think I accidentally clicked the wrong guy. Yeah, I did Pig Patch. Okay. Alright. So, yeah, so he is... Oh, he is fooled? I thought it was 0. He's 10%, so is this guy 30 or 25 then? 50%? Are you kidding me? Hold on a second. Dude, that's not what I've read. Alright, hold on. I'm just gonna open a random article right now. Here, I'm gonna do this just because I said so. So one sec. What is this called? It's not that. Okay. Is it community posts? Is this it? Did I find it? Oh, I guess they reworked their site or something. Okay, this looks like crap, but here you go. Alright, so yeah, they talk about, or Scott talks about UCN in the pizzeria sim. Like Steam page, or like I thought this was called like the community tab. But anyway, so yeah, he talks about this, and then like up here, and then up here. And then there's a huge list. Okay, it's right here. And he talks about Nedbear. Oh, 50%, Norville's 10%. Alright, I thought this was like the Mandela effect, like something, I don't remember that being the case. But then in here as well, there's info about Toy Bonnie and Chica. It says like, looking at them will increase the effectiveness of the mask, causing them to leave faster. So there's weird little tips in here that you guys can probably look at as well. And there's like really odd information that is not listed like on this site, but I thought this was different. I thought this was like, this is 10% or no, Orville is 10% or 0% and Nedbear's 10%, but I guess not. Okay, well, whatever. Sorry, I got my facts incorrect there. Alright, who else are we dealing with? Who else is bad? Rockstar Chica, I guess, is like, let's see when she works. Okay, every 10 seconds that the monitor is flipped down and Rockstar Chica is not currently at one of the halls, the game chooses a number between 0 and 29. If her AI is less than, or if the number is less than AI, so basically she has a 1/3 chance of appearing at cam 1 or 2 with a 50% chance to appear in either one. I thought she always appears at the right door first. I guess not, but alright. Yeah, she has 10.5 seconds where she's willing to stand at a hole. That's interesting. Okay, so I suppose you should just assume that she goes back over to the other door. I guess if you really wanted to, every 10 seconds you could kind of like fling the sign around if you get like a late XOR, but even then I wouldn't really recommend that. Because then you're focusing too hard on her. So I think like you go like at the start of the night it's right, 26 seconds is left, and then like 30, let's just say like 35 plus, like basically after you do the death coin, back over to the right, and then back over to the left, like after plush trap. Unless you see her on the camera, I guess, but like don't, why would you be looking for her? There's other things to look at, like you have to be a lot more critical about your time. So yeah, you could get Nightmare Chica instantly. What? Similar to Pig Patch. Oh, she has multicolored pupils. I didn't know that actually. Turn on the power AC. Yeah, you can instantly get her. I liked this, like, cause I was like, oh man, that's kind of weird that they didn't include her. But Jacko Chica is cooler, and then like Nightmare Chica was in the game all along. I was like, whoa. Alright, I'm not reading those. Those are crazy. Alright, well, anywho, I don't really think that there's a whole lot more to talk about. Let me look at the game here. See if I can get any ideas out of this. Close the calculator. Okay, so let's think about this here. Is there anyone else I should really demo? I mean, not really. I guess we could like try to get a better understanding of this bird here. Like we'll watch her on the cameras and see what she ends up doing. So like every 10 seconds I'm gonna look, but I'm gonna assume that she's gonna be doing the same thing. Like I'll do my strategy where like I wait to 26 and then change and then go back. And then is there anyone else really? I guess we can like play around with Chica for a little bit, or I can show you Toy Freddy some more, or we can check like how often Funtime Foxy gets like the 1 a.m. showtime, but like that doesn't even matter. You're just supposed to deal with him early, like after 26. Alright. See if I get this. Got it. Alright, Pog. I'm still gaming. Alright. So like, even if I'm in the cameras, like, it doesn't really matter. Have I accidentally been cam stalling her? I think I have.
Uh-oh, how unfortunate.
Alright, let me not have that happen, first of all. Alright, here, get off of there. Like, go up here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, there's that. I'm just gonna go look. Okay. Alright. So like now. It's the best one, in my opinion. Okay, so now I would say like back over.
Yar, me bird likes you, so I'll do ye a favor.
Okay, so I didn't even see her show up. Cool. I got money now. Alright. Yeah, she doesn't make a noise if she like thunks or not. So, yeah. I like that you can hear the song on the global music box. It's nice. That's the classic right there. Kind of weird. So, like, what is this again? It's like, this is like FNAF 3, like Happiest Day or something. This is like I got the check, which isn't really like a music. It's like it is a music box, but not like the kind that are you're thematically hearing. Like this is a different one. This is like a personal little tiny music box, and this is the RWQ one, I think, in 3. Okay, so did she show up? What was that? The cam's jittered. Okay, so she does show up now. So if I do this, does she go away? Yeah, okay, good. Instantly, and there's no noise. So I guess that works. So yeah, if you get a late XOR spawn, I would say like in the mid to late 30s, maybe early 40s, you should flip the sign back over to the right. I was thinking of like age for some reason, I don't know why. But anyway, then beyond that, once you do the death coin, like let's just say, okay, I was staring at him, he's gone, and like once you do plush trap, then do this, and then you're good. But like, look, this, I'm double clicking, but like it doesn't work. Even if you do it fast, you have to like really, you can barely move the mouse. It kind of sucks. When's the last time you've seen that? When's the last time you've seen this? Silent vent? You can also watch, hold on. Look at that giga freaking cooling. Or you can do this alternatively. This is actually okay. It's just, this isn't as noisy. Using the silent vent's not as noisy as using like the power AC and the fan. Alright, yeah, so that's how that works. So like, I guess you could do this. Hold on. Did that work? Yeah, okay, so you can just like kind of play around with the sign. You can keep sending the sign back and forth. That's actually pretty interesting. Alright, that's a pretty good idea. Okay, hold on a second. So like, before you go back into the cameras, you can go flip to right, flip to left. Because like, you don't even have to open the camera and she'll go away, as long as the sign is on her side. That is really interesting. Okay, so let me kind of show you what I mean here. Alright, so like, we're doing this right now, right? Okay. So we're over here on the right. Alright. And I can look here all day, this doesn't even matter. Oh, I thought I saw some like 60s like star sparkle thing here. It's just like a box of tissues or whatever. Alright. Ding dong dong dong. Okay, there she is, right? So watch this. Problem solved, right? So like, you can keep the wet floor sign over here then. So like at 26 seconds, launch it back over if you want. And then, let's just say, oh, okay, I gotta do a cam flip still, right? Like, shoot. We'll do this, watch. Like, flip this, and then flip it back just real quick. Or like, you don't even have to send the camera back over, just like, boom. Easy peasy. Alright, who are we dealing with? I got lucky that I heard her, jeez. Alright. It's always Ballora. Like, it's always Ballora. Alright. So, that's pretty useful. That actually taught me something. I didn't know that. Okay. Very nice, very nice. The thing, okay, so like, if you switch cams, and Nightmare Balloon Boy, or Phantom Balloon Boy, and Phantom Mangle are there, like, okay, watch, hold on, that was dumb. Okay, so see how she stayed? Like, you have to go to a different system to get her to go away. And then this happens. Oh my gosh, it's so loud. And then like, Helpy can jump scare you, or like, there's other things that will make noise. But like, hey, always just do this. Like that. Problem solved. Nice. Alright, anything else? Here, how about you? And you. Oh, why are you at 14, dude? What are you doing? Okay, so let's see if like moving the flashlight actually will turn this guy off or not. Why am I in here? Okay, hold on. Yeah, so you can click and drag and he'll still go away. We'll let this guy fade in here. Right, he's fading in, nice. Getting there, he's getting there. Okay, watch. Yeah, if you hold it while panning the camera, it works. Cool. Alright, anything else? Oh, I guess I could show this. Might as well be showing different offices though. Okay. Where's the other guy? I need the other guy to show up. Alright, watch this. I'm gonna close both at once, watch the coin counter. Only got one. So go slow. Alright, who else? So these guys, I guess. Alright, so like, some people say this is like the sister location and FNAF 6 office because like Egg Baby's here and the security puppet. I think that like these guys though are just like designs of like this era, if that makes sense. Okay. Alright, so that ballsed everything up because I went right in at that time. So I can like flip cam all day. But then like if I go in at 26, balls. Alright. There we go. It's always on the left side of the screen too. So like next thing here, like if you have a late XOR, go in after 39. See? Like nothing happened. And then like 52 is the next one. So like if it's really bad and you've already bought the death coin and done all that, and like you need to get rid of Flesh Trap, and like after 52, and then like he goes cam 2 out of there. Alright.
Yarg, how may I be of service to ya?
Give me $20. Alright. Who else? These guys, I guess, just to show how they work a little bit. And anyone else, really? Should be fine. Let's see, is there anyone else I'm going to want to talk about? I suppose her. We'll look at like 5-second intervals. Alright. Oops, totally missed. I was like acting like this on my actual 5021. So like close the vent. And I actually forgot to do that. But like actually close the vent. Thunk. Okay, good. Okay, and then you can, I'm pretty sure you can just leave it open. So anyway, green's the frog, purple's the hippo, pink is the pig, brown is the bear, and orange is the elephant. So yeah, as long as you get one, you got one. Like only one nerd loads into the vents over there at a time. So what the frick was that? Hold on. Alright. So like then every so often do that. Happy Frog's immune to the heater. As you saw, she didn't move at all. See if Ned Bear gets stuck here. Yeah, he got stuck, but he busted out. As you can see, he's like, when the check to see like, is he immune happens, only happens every now and then. This is pretty good though. He's stuck. Alright, so like he got out though. Right? So like run the heater. That's why you always run the heater. Mr. Hippo's been like freaking smoked. Like that guy's, he's stuck. Okay, so same deal here. Like Orville got past, right? He did a big jump.
I hope you enjoyed the grand finale.
Yeah, that's basically the grand finale of all this. But here, we'll turn Scrap Baby on and then just show off another office. It's like these are the offices that like no one ever looks at, you know. So I think she is every 5 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Okay, yeah. Why are you here? I've never noticed that, actually. So she can come back, I believe. Yeah, I never noticed Springtrap in the background, like looking through the window like that. This is kind of interesting. There's like there's like a room back here. Like, cause this just feels like walls and like the default office, but this feels like there's like a hallway back there. They'll come back, I think. Maybe not, but as you can see, it was like every 5 seconds or so. Alright, and I guess we'll just like go look at this office just cause. But like, I'm sure you guys have seen this office a ton. It would have been kind of funny if it was like a different table, if it was like a play school table, and then like this fan was here. It's like, yeah, here's the phone up here. Well, I guess like, doesn't this guy show up in all the offices? I forget. These are all real pictures of like, that like Scott has taken. Kind of scary. It's like a nighttime picture with the flash on the swings, playing on the swing set at night. Totally balls that one up. Jeez. Okay, where's the spot for this one? The sweet spot, like aligned with the cup, I guess.
Uh-oh, how unfortunate. Uh-oh, how unfortunate. I know how much you like to fight, so I'll add a new problem to your night.
Yar, who touched me bird?
Who is it? Oh. It's kind of a crazy strat, look at this. I prefer this. You can take it off too fast, actually. Alright, well anyway, I think that's about it. I'll show you like visual effects and like, that's it. Ever seen visual effects in any of the other offices, gamers? Didn't think so. Alright, really it's like, so see the game has like this, the wrapping effect that it used to. Like in FNAF 1 and stuff, so that's good. Full monitors back here and stuff. It might be easier to see Helpy. Alright, anyway, yeah, the cameras like kind of wiggle like that every now and then. And boy, does that make the game lag. So I think this is on like a grid now, or it's like, this is 3D, I think. So is this. Is this supposed to be like a curved monitor or just like a giant monitor? I should see Mr. Can-Do, but
Uh-oh, how unfortunate.
how unfortunate for you, Dee Dee, because I'm not dealing with that today. Alright, anyway, that ought to do it. I gotta say, that ought to do it. I think I've talked about enough regarding this game. All the crap that you gotta deal with, and, you know, what to expect and how to change your mentality and whatnot. But all right, that's it. I'm just gonna stop talking and like make some food or something. So I would say what I said earlier, which is like, know what you're doing, be willing to make changes, and have that mechanical skill along with the mental knowledge. Develop some muscle memory, figure things out, see how they work. Once you start getting past the first, let's just say like 40 seconds, you'll probably be fine. Like you'll be able to start consistently getting further and further, and then beyond that, it's not too hard. You're probably gonna have to do a couple tries later in the night, but you might get it first try. Who knows? But the big thing, like I said, is use your cranial and believe in yourself. That's like, that could be a big missing factor. Like, don't be like, gosh dang it, I fricked up again, I'm so freaking mad. You need to be like, alright, it's okay. I got this. I can do it. I'm gonna keep trying here. And like, if you are starting to be like, alright, you know what, this is annoying, then like, chill out. Stop playing. Go pee-pee, get some water. Like, maybe stop for the day. Like, gaming doesn't have to be this giant gamer marathon anymore. Well, not anymore. Like, games used to be like chill, where you like playing for a little bit and then you go play outside, and then it got to be like, all we do is game, boys. But like, you need to remember, like, it doesn't have to be super crazy. So like, if you want to play for a little bit, then stop until tomorrow, that's okay. Like, sometimes your brain needs time to think about stuff and like process it, and so like going to bed, even though you're not actively thinking, it's going to be like putting together the puzzle pieces while you sleep. And you might wake up the next day and be like, whoa, hold on, I'm a better player all of a sudden. So I just have to say, tell yourself, yes, I can. Don't get mad and say, like, this is impossible. It's, like, honestly, all things considered, yes, it takes some time, but no, it's not that hard. That said, I don't know that I'd want to do it again, just because it took it forever. And I'm glad to be like done with the challenges and whatnot. But yeah. Anyway, yes, like Ambience is right. I know you can do it. He knows you can do it. You got to tell yourself that, though. That's the thing. It's not up to us. It's up to you. So like, you don't need to hear it from us. You need to hear it from yourself. But if you need that little extra boost, there you go, gamers. Sorry, it sounded so disingenuous. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to go do something, so bring out the dancing lobsters. No, I'm going to, like, make, like, some fruit, like, cut up a pear, and, like, get carrots and celery. I'm going to make fruit. What am I talking about? I've got to, like, study, too. Been procrastinating. Not really. Just been, like, doing crap like this and gaming and, like, walking the dogs and stuff, but alright, that's it. I'm out for real. Hope you enjoyed it. This game's fun. Outside of doing 50-20, it's just fun to frick around doing all the challenges. I was going to say D around, then F around, and then I was like, you know what? No. Like, I don't know why they came to mind. I said frick, but these are good portraits, huh? I know you can't see them anymore, but like, I'm looking at the Twitch video that I had prepared, and like, nice. I like when you take the model of something and then like you make something else out of it like this. It just looks good, you know what I mean? He exported all these models and like brought them over. Pretty funny. Good job. Did a good job too. Posed them like, took a picture and had like a transparent background and everything. Like, Scott knows his stuff. I wonder if he drew in the little like speaker emote by like the phone for Phone Guy. Why is Phone Guy in the bottom right? Why isn't he like up at the top? I was so glad. I was like, dude, they brought Phone Guy in. He needs to be in there. He's a classic character. I was kind of mad that like traditional Golden Freddy wasn't here, but like this Golden Freddy works better because like he actually has gameplay. But like, it should have been the original. But then like, I guess that was Fredbear, huh? So. All right. Anyway, that's it. Gamers, hang in there. You got this. I'm not gonna say it again. And sorry that I dropped some frames during this recording, but whatever. Anyway, good luck. Let me know if you beat it, and let me know like if you need help, and hopefully I can be of service in the comments. Alright, that's it. I'm gonna get off now. I'll see you guys later.